Peace and blessings, family. This is your boy, Gerald. It is Monday, the 29th of January, 2018. How is everybody doing? On a rainy day here in Virginia Beach, I wanted to come on here and actually pick up where I left off. First of all, I was at work last night and the signal was cutting in and out from the frequency of my phone. But then again, where I work at, that's normal because the military don't stop. So they're going to do what they got to do. And I'm there to support them. But when I came home last night, I, like many of you, turned on the Grammys. I watched the performances. And as well as I saw the opportunities that were given to speak truth. And some was riveting, and some were very opportunistic. And as I took it in, one thing was validated. With the 7.4 billion people on this sacred earthly plane, I realize that there are two kinds of people. There are those that will be still, be vigilant, acknowledge what is being shown. And then there are those that will take note and remain silent and go with the flow. But it depends on who we are as individuals and the connections that we have with ourselves. And right now, socially, there is such based off of actions, behaviors, but lastly, choices. And no, I'm not disturbed, but I'm not surprised because this is something that I saw long ago. And just like many things, they've all come to pass. And I know that these things are divinely, as well as I know that before the best you can be revealed to the world, there must be works done. The commitment must be received. Nope. The days of being lukewarm and just passive aggressive must be surrendered. So what is going on, family? A lot of impulsiveness, a lot of distractions, a lot of non-accountability. And it makes me wonder because at the end of the day, it's your life story. It is about your legacy. It is about what makes your reality true. And with the evidence being crystal clear, being presented in front of you to make a decision. You know, those two spiritual gifts you were given the moment you took your first breath. The first one was to unconditionally love yourself. The second one was free will, the right to choose. So why is it that so many people are squandering that choice to be them, to validate who they are, to finally love themselves? But it seems like now more than ever, it's all about getting in where you fit in and not taking stock of actions made will be reality received. So much energy in speaking, but not embracing your truth. But then I also understand this. We are in the season where the beast, the lion in the brush, is making it so evident that anything that is deemed sacred to you will be challenged, will be caught and brought into question. And it depends on if you're willing to be still. And what is sad is there's a lot of people that are not discerning. They're not seeing what is truly meant for you, what is authentic, and they are being deceived. Some will not even see the effects for years down the road, family. They're not even going to realize that what is going on is the agenda to separate you from you. Meanwhile, they use the brushstrokes of social commentary to paint that perfect picture, not looking, not seeing what's really going on. Now, I have to ask and throw this disclaimer, because at this moment, I've got to step away. I'm gonna let the camera roll. Tyson's got to use the bathroom. But give me a second, because I don't want to have an accident in this kennel, then I got to clean it up. So I ask, be patient, give me a couple minutes, and I'll be right back. Come on, bud. I know you got to use the bathroom. Come on. Come on, let's go use the bathroom. Come on. Appreciate the patience. Appreciate the patience. It is raining. It is nasty. Even your loyal companion don't want to be out there because of the weather. But you know what? At the end of the day, it all falls back in your lap. And the sad thing about it is, there are going to be some people that are going to be more loyal to their delusion. That's right, their delusion. Let's look at the elephant in the room. If your life is not going in the path that you need it to go, why won't you first acknowledge what is holding you back and have the courage to chip away at it? Doesn't mean that you're going to have the end result instantaneously, because we're talking about perfection. We're talking about your life. So until you decide to make a priority of you being a priority, you might as well keep holding that victim card, keep playing the scapegoat, or worse, allowing people to take advantage of what's sacred, and that's you. But there's plenty of people that feel this. If there is a commonality of the same theme, there's strength in numbers. But guess what? If you turn around and say, well, what about that decision you made? What about the critical thinking in the process? What about the ownership in the result? What about that? Why do we want to slide past that? Meanwhile, those who have figured out and made a conscious decision on this is who I am, and no matter what the outcome is, I'm going to die that way. They already know it. And they're just going to allow you to continue to spin and spin and spin till you burn yourself out. You know, I've actually thought about stepping back and watching this earth spin for a while. Because one thing I do know, it'll make sense in the intended time, or the intended heart, intended mind, the moment that either you get tired of the same result or do something better. Claim yourself back. Because there are going to be countless people banking on the fact that you don't. There are going to be countless people hoping that you can continue to run away. Let's not look at the elephant in the room. Let's constantly feed it. Because if we constantly feed it, it bases the ideology, or better yet, the behaviors that you're choosing to do, no matter if they're destructive or not. But you know, there's a lot of trigger words out there like empowerment. How can you empower yourself if you don't take acknowledgement or acknowledge what needs to be? Plain. A divided house can't stand, family. It won't. It is nothing but structures erected for the common goal. Temporary satisfaction. No matter what it looks like, if there's no love there, it will not last a stand of time. It will either be removed or destroyed. You don't believe me? Look at them headstones out there in your local cemetery. They're put there for a reason. Not to sound morbid or crass, It's the truth. The epitome of love is the marker with your name going to be on it. And everything that you personify will be condensed in a 2.5-inch dash mark. But we're not thinking about that. We're worried about how I can appease the next person. How can I just float on by through life without bumping the edges? Let me tell you something. Sometimes the rough edges must be broken off with pressure. And you'll come to understand those things that were sticky, that were the thorns in your progression. Well, actually, love. L-O-V-E. You'll come to see that. But the bitter truth is, everybody that did not represent that. That is going to be the stark reality, because you'll come to understand the value of time. Don't worry. There'll be another call. There'll be another gong being banged. There'll be another movement for you to get back in, follow suit. But if that movement is not guiding you back to the source, how about that little boy or little girl that matters just as she did the first moment she or he took his first breath? Talk about you. Everything that you come in contact with is irrelevant. It matters not. No, there's no trophy in taking a back seat when it comes to your life. But you won't hear that dialogue, will you? You won't see that instant gratification of revenue, because it is the thing to do. No, I'm not bashing. I'm just making a point, and one day you guys will see it. Because I saw something very prolific last night at the Grammys too. Yes, there was a lot of moments that inspired. But then I thought about it. Not on the stage, not in the crowd, but in a booth somewhere, throwing the switches. I realized that, there was a narrative that was going on, played out right before you. And that narrative was selective. Because I realized that with anything, if it was not able to spark revenue, it would have not been presented. Do you hear me? Think about it. If they didn't want you to get the message or get the point, you would have never gotten airtime. So you got to look at it from a different perspective. Are you being played? Are you being distracted? Because the things that you really, really need shouldn't have been in the forefront, not the things that you're condoning. And they don't even realize. Many are being deceived and don't even understand, only to figure it out later on down the road. Family, don't be the victim. Don't fall for it. Fall back in love with yourself. Because until you decide to fall back in love with yourself, you won't come to understand what it was all for when you look back in time. Yeah, I'm seriously thinking about falling back, taking a seat, and watching this earthly realm spin. Don't know yet. But what I do know is you're priceless. You deserve to feel emotionally safe. And you deserve to live your life as it's intended. Stop wasting your time wondering if the phone is going to ring or trying to figure out where they're at. I'm a firm believer if it's meant for you to know, you will be there. But that's how God does, isn't it? He's not there when you want him to be. He's there when you need him to be. Because you are his child. Always was, always will. But it is not his responsibility to seek you out. It's your responsibility to find yourself. God's praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, it helps me discern mine. There's no such thing as a we, a us, or a they, until you understand what it means to say I and claim your life back first. That's when the clarity comes. Because that is priceless in itself. Be blessed.